People of the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People7 on Twitter and YouTube, People elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com, and my soaps, Purple Butterfly Soaps, are located at people.etsy.com. Physical address is 12886 for the P.O. Box in Cincinnati, Ohio, 45212. Actually, that's Norwood, Ohio. So you can say Norwood, Ohio, or Cincinnati, Ohio. As long as you put 45212, my mail will get there. Anyway, I have come to cut the sweet coffee and gold. It is completely solid now and ready to go. So let's get that set up the way we need it. And since this is a Polynero, it needs to go sideways when I cut it. So let's get that out the way right now. Okay, first thing I need to do is make sure I have enough space, because I have a cutting area of 18 inches and I have enough soap to cut like 30 pieces. Well, that's an exaggeration, of course. Yeah. It's going to be more like 12 pieces. This is a little soft, but it is solid. Nice. I'm going to have fun showing this to you. Once I get it to a place where I can let go on this other edge, because with it being oversized, it's kind of balancing there. Is that gorgeous or what? I'm going to put that over there for right now. I still see a marker line. But I also see a few other things, like pieces of the original soap that didn't quite solidify, so forth and so on. And it will get harder as time goes on. Oh, well, that was a dumb place to put that, wasn't it? Alrighty then. Let's scoop that up some. Very nice. Scoop that back. Put it back in the location it needs to be. This would also help if I had a straight cutting line there. There we go. Very nice. So I'm going to put that over there. You know what? I am starting to notice every now and then that line acts like it's crooked. So what I'm going to do is make sure that's not the case. So first thing I'm going to do, since that is using the same line, I'm going to make sure Yep, that's definitely crooked. So, now we're going to come up here. There. Now, I'm going to line that up to the one that I actually have right there. And then remove this one. And that would give me a nice, new, even cutting line. Give me a second to line that up, please. I want to know how come that wasn't clear to me before. Probably because I don't usually use the tall narrow where the entire side lines up with the edge right here on this cutting board. So now let's see what happens. Yeah, much better. Alrighty then. And let me move this, because, well, you got it right in the path of what you're cutting. That's going to make it a little bit more difficult, shall we say. Alright. Yu-Gi-Oh! Love that theme song. And yes, I watch Yu-Gi-Oh! And several other cartoons. I have never had problems admitting I'm a toonie. I still watch Pokemon. Yep. When the kids asked for Pokemon Gold and all that, and the cards, so forth and so on, I wasn't just buying it because the kids requested. I already had some. Yep. So when one child tried to convince me that they just had to have gold, it couldn't be silver. Silver won't work. Right, who do you think you're fooling? I was born that night, not last night. And if you want the gold version, you will pay for the gold. Silver works, and nothing wrong with it. So forth and so on. That's what I told the kid. I had actually already bought them the gold, but that would have ruined the Christmas present if I kind of told them that ahead of time. You know what I mean? So I let them stew for a few hours, a couple of days. Yeah. Now, we're going to need to locate some space. Yeah. We can put this one over here. 1, 2, 3. Da-da-da-da. Oh, look how the Giggle came out. Isn't that cute? Okay. Now, that gives me enough room to maneuver. like pieces of coffee soap. Um, some of the coffee came out much lighter. I guess that was the pieces of the second batch that got cut up with the first batch and still became one, loaf of soap. But because I melted, I put both pieces into the crock pot and, both batches rather, and just let it basically cook till it was liquid, and then added some more oil, some more water, so forth and so on. So some of it came out looking a bit like this, where you can see that one batch was actually lighter than the other batch, so forth and so on. But hey, when you're doing something creative with two different batches, even though it's the same formula, time, age, stuff like that, has various effects. Like the one soap, the only difference between that batch was one started drying on me about 2 hours before the other got poured on top of it. So, yeah, that made a difference, especially since I was doing microline and the one line got solid before the rest of it got poured. So that made a separating effect. Well, now, as you can tell, I have a microline and a couple of other variables going on in there, and it looks amazing. And it still smells good. Yeah. Because, it smells like coffee and sugar. The only things I use, and I didn't even use it for the scent. I used it because coffee energizes the skin. Sugar gives a strong lather, but I wasn't making a sugar soap, so what I did, I have several of these that I got from the hospital when I was there. They never got my order right. It was always sending me pepper when I ordered no pepper. They were always sending me just containers and containers of sugar when I said creamer, and they would forget to send me creamer. They never got my order right, but, you don't just throw stuff away, so I used it. I used the sugar because sugar will have the effect of soaps that castor oil will, but if you happen to be allergic to castor oil or you don't want to pay for that expensive additive, because castor oil can be pricey, then just throw a teaspoon of sugar in there and you got a very lathery soap. That worked for me. So for each batch of soap, I put a teaspoon of sugar in there. And people go, castor oil isn't that expensive. But let's think about something. Okay, this is a oil I use, small container. This is grapeseed oil. I use this primarily as a super fat. And my coconut oil is in a vat this big, holds 8 pounds. Okay, my castor oil, the last batch I bought, was an 8-ounce container that wasn't even a Giggle bar soap. And you used it 1 or 2 tablespoons at a time just to create lather in your finished soap. Well, that's nice, but this was free, and it does the same thing. It creates lather in your finished soap, and it don't cost anything. I haven't used castor oil in soap in a couple of years because, well, for one, I find it pricey. For two, castor oil has the potential to make me itch because I am slightly allergic to it. And it's not necessary. If you know what you're doing, like when you make a sugar soap, the first thing they say is don't put castor oil or too much castor oil in that soap because it'll become very sticky because overdosing castor oil makes for a sticky soap. Well, when you use sugar or molasses or honey in a soap, too much sugar will make for a sticky soap. So why are you going to overdose it doing that when you could just simply throw a single teaspoon of sugar per 2-pound batch or whatever. There we go. Now, isn't that gorgeous or what? It's like a Mod Podge, but it's not a Mod Podge. So since that's my thinnest piece, I'm going to use that for personal. In the meantime, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. The 2 sample pieces make 15 pieces. So the sample will be, those 2 bars will be piece number 15. They will make many, many pieces for the sample. And then, oh, there's 2 mica lines. I remember making the one. Of course, one of those mica lines could just be leftover from the gold mica that actually did go into the finished mixture before it went kabutsumi. That's what it looks like right now. Is that pretty or what? I'm actually going to turn it upside down so that way the Giggle, which is definitely solid on the top and all around, so forth and so on, will have the effect of being the drying rack for the rest of it. So. There we go. Now, like this one here, it has a slight mushing from where it touched, certain surfaces. And that will give it a round edge when we don't necessarily want to have a round edge because it is a little liquid on the top. But on the bottom, it's all one piece. So that's what we have there. Oop. And I'll give that one more squish because every place that there was a bubble squished out, like right there, it's got that little bolt. That's just going to make it solid because since it squished out, that's an air bubble that, would have been basically in the way. So, now, when I take the pictures of it, you'll be able to see where the mica line actually is on this soap. This one's easier to see. On this side, look at the original piece and then look directly under it. You can see the little gold mica line. Going in the opposite direction of what I thought, but and that's the other side of it. It's really cute. So, let's see, some of this is still soft, but that's fine because soft And drying is better than hard and falling apart, and hey, it won't go back together. So, if it wants to be slightly moist, that's fine. Because slightly moist is still better than won't hold together, won't be useful, and as a soap, it must be useful. That's its entire job in life, is to be a useful soap that brings a smile to this soaper's face. Yep, and that's my piece. So I'm going to put it over there where it can't get lost. Ta-da. Actually, I like this new version better. I mean, it just has so much more character to it. And I don't know if you can actually see the mica line on this one. But, well, actually, it's showing up right through there. But it's still cute. So when I do the pictures and you see this little splash of gold right there and a little splash of this right there, that's the mica line. And that one looks like a mica line all the way across. I don't know if it's going to stay right in that one spot where you can see it very easily or not, but that one is presenting itself as a complete mica line instead of, hey, I just popped in to say hi. You know what I mean? Because so many soaps will do a mica line with a peek effect. I just peeked in to say hi, how you doing? Now you won't see me no more, you know. But that's also what causes people to try again, because, hey, that mica line didn't show up, and it peeked in on me. So I'm going to see if I can get one that'll stick around for the long haul and, you know, show some love by staying put where everybody can see. So I have a few that decide to stay around for the long haul, and a few that is doing the peek at me. Okay, this one is doing a mica line all the way across. And this one, and this is the other side of the same piece of soap, is doing a peek at me thing. And in fact, it's only showing up right about there. That's weird. Oh, that's not even a peek. That's part of an original piece of the gold that was chopped up and got blended into the whole thing, so that's why it's going that way when another one's doing a line going across. Never boring being a soaper. Anyway, this has been People of Southern on Twitter and YouTube, people elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at purplebutterfly-peopler.blogspot.com, and my soaps can be located at Purple Butterfly Soaps, which is peopler.etsy.com. This has been Sweet Coffee and Gold with a little bit of giggle. And I've already explained how I got the name Giggle for that particular part, so watch the previous video. In the meantime, enjoy. These soaps will be available very, very soon. I'm thinking because it's needed so much extra time, I'm just going to go ahead and give it a 2-week cure. So right about Christmas time or the day after, I will be releasing those to be sold. So y'all stay blessed, stay tuned. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Bye now.